Okay, so in this short video, I'm going to show you a little sequence to loosen up the hips and get the glutes activated. So first and foremost, if we're looking at activating the glutes, the first thing we need to make sure we do have is access to that range of movement where we can actually maximize our glute strength and our glute activity. So to get there, first we need to mobilize the hips, increase the range of movement we have, so that when our glutes try and extend at the hip and pull us this way and drive that push off motion, our hips are nice and loose and relaxed and actually allow us to do it. So if our hips are pretty much stuck in this position, the glutes are toned down and not as likely to give us that snap and that bit more effort and that bit more power. So we want to loosen up the hips, and then we're going to get to work. We've got a little banded sequence that we're going to do for the glutes. So to do this routine, you need two things. Number one is a lacrosse ball, or a hockey ball will do, but roughly that kind of size, nice and smooth, so you're not going to get any indentations on it. I know plenty of people use like a cricket ball or something like that. If you don't want that, get yourself a little lacrosse ball, a couple of quid off Amazon. And then your second bit for your kit bag is your glute band or your hip circle. So it's just like a mini resistance band. We're going to use that to help generate a little bit of tension so that we've got something to squeeze against. You don't have to do it, it's not an absolute necessity, but I would definitely recommend it to help get the maximum benefit from the work that we're going to do. So number one, we're going to loosen up some of the tight tissue in here. So we're looking around the bony part of the hip, just below there, into kind of like the top of your pocket, and then just behind that as well. So we're looking very much a muscle called the TFL or tensor fasciae latae and the glute medius. We're going to do 2 minutes of rolling on each side. So I'm not going to do this with you. I'm just going to show you where it goes, how to do it. And then I'd recommend pause the video, do it yourself, hold it for the 2 minutes, just work around, and then we'll go into the next bit. So place your ball on the floor, and you're looking for that bony part, and then you want to be below that, around the top of your pocket. And what we're looking for here is, it's pretty much a game of search and destroy. We're looking for any painful spots. There's one. They're what we're going to refer to as trigger points, and we're just going to hold the tension there, hold the pressure there, and concentrate on relaxing your breathing. The more we can do that, we can relax the fascial network that kind of encapsulates the muscle, and everything begins to relax and loosen up and free up a bit. It gives us a bit more pliability. If we tense up and we're solid, then we're going to struggle. So 2 minutes, either side, do left and right, and then once you've done that, come back and we'll play the next sequence of the video. So hopefully you've paused it and you've done that on both sides. The next thing I'm going to show you is what we call the world's greatest stretch. So what I want you to do, I'm going to take you through the simple, really easy version. If you go onto your hands and knees, you want to get your foot up outside your hand. All right, in fact, if I show you this way, so we're going to go foot up outside our hand, and then I'm going to push my hips forwards. So I'm already lengthening through this hip. I'm going to hold that position, squeeze the hips in towards the floor, and then just spin myself again. I'm going to take this hand, so the hand closest to the foot, I'm going to rotate out. So I'm getting a bit more stretch this time through the adductors as I twist and rotate. I'm also getting thoracic rotation through my upper spine. So I'm increasing my range and mobility. So if you think about movements that you might be doing in sport, if you're playing football or you're kicking a ball, you're lengthening out through that shoulder, lengthening through the hip, and then you're going to snap it through. And you kick, so you're rotating as far as you can. Breathe out, and then you're going to relax. Breathe in again, and then breathe out. Trying to drop your elbow, slide it down the inside of your shin. You're almost pushing your knee out the way to make room. Drop the shoulder into your heel, and then we're going to change leg. So we're going to do same thing on the other side. You're going to push the hips forwards, then we're going to rotate out through your upper spine, lengthen everything through there as much as you can. Breathe out and then breathe in as you drop. Breathe out again as you drop your elbow down the inside of your shin, push your knee away and get as deep as you can into that position. Now, if you feel comfortable in those positions, what I'd recommend that you do is go into a push-up position. So it's hand to opposite foot, rotate. So my back knee is actually off the floor, therefore I'm still loading tension through the back hip as well. Rotate, drop. And you're just gonna alternate side to side. What we're going to do on there, 5 times through each side. Take your time working from position to position. So you spend a good couple of minutes going through that stretch. Now, hopefully you pause that, do the hip flexor work. And now we're going to come into our glute activation. So we should have a bit more range in the hips. And what I want you to do, you sit, and again, if you've got your band, you can do this. If not, then you can do this without the band. You just might not get as much of an effect from it. So, band goes around the top of the knee. I'm going to lie on my side. I'm going to bring my heels up towards my bum and bend my knees out in front. From there, I'm going to squeeze that knee up and angle my hips towards the floor. So if I start opening my hips out, it gets really easy. All the tension leaves the muscle and I'm just kind of flailing around aimlessly, not getting much of an effect. So keep your hips angled down towards the floor, squeeze the band up and control down. Squeeze up, control down. And I want you to build up 12 to 20 reps at this controlled tempo. So do your 12 reps, and you're going to stay on the same side, toes towards the floor, squeeze up, but back slightly, so you're going at a bit more of a diagonal this time. So if you do this, if you imagine, in fact I have got a wall, if you have a wall just behind you, so you've still got your front leg bent, if you've got a wall just behind you, your leg comes up, and then you're squeezing your leg into the wall. So that's going to give us a little bit more glute max activation. So you should still be on the same side. I just showed you from a different angle. So you should have gone from your clams, 12 of those, into 12 straight leg abductions. Okay, and then from there, you're going to come down onto your front. So I'm still working the same leg. This time, I'm just going to squeeze my leg up and out. So I'm pushing everything else into the floor, but I'm squeezing my left leg up and away. So it's just on that diagonal line again. And again, you do 12 reps there. As soon as you've done that, come flat to your back, and we're going to go into a bridge position. So heels flat to the floor, bum in towards your heels, or heels towards your bum, and then keep your knees in line between your hip and your heel, and you're going to squeeze up as high as you can, control down, touch and go. And again, that position's 12 to 20 reps. Once you've done that, you can flip sides and do the opposite leg. So we have got, as a summary, lacrosse ball or hockey ball rolling for the hip, 2 minutes each side. World's greatest stretch. Open out and then drop the elbow through, 5 each side. Side lying clam, heels up towards your bum, knees in front, 12 to 20, keep the hips angled towards the floor, then straighten your leg, work up on that diagonal, 12 to 20, then you're on your front, you're just going to extend up and out, 12 to 20. Then onto your back for the last one, glute bridges. And again, that's 12 to 20 reps. So that little sequence there could be very, very useful as a bit of a warm-up exercise. Perfect if you've been sat down in a chair all day. Perfect if you're off out to play football, play sport, do anything else. So make sure you've got strong glutes. They'll help posture, they'll help health, they'll help performance. They'll prevent pain, especially in low back, knees, and your hips especially. So do all those things, do them on a regular basis. Very, very rarely will people cause themselves issues by having strong glutes. So get your glutes as strong as you can, and there are two parts to that. Number one, be mobile at the hip, and number two, make sure you do your activation work. Get those things nailed and you'll be on to a winner. LENKO out.